Good morning, or whatever time you're watching this. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, even. This is our Austin Avenue Youth Group parent meeting that we have this year. I have a few notes for us. The purpose of this meeting is if parents can't be here for the annual meeting that we'll have in the zone, this is a great resource for them. If a new family comes in the middle of the year, they don't have to wait to the next parent meeting. They can go ahead and catch up and dive right in to the youth group. And finally, it's a resource for you to go back to throughout the year. If you have any questions and couldn't remember something from way back in August, you can, of course, always come and ask me, or you can come back to this video and hopefully it can help you out. What this PowerPoint will have for us is you'll see the numbers on the side. What is youth group, rhythms, youth connection center, a whole bunch of different things that we're going to talk about. And at the top right of each slide, at least it should be at the top right, is a number. Is a number for the slide. That number should correspond with what we have on our agenda today. So first of all, what is youth group? It's important to know why you're doing something, but before you know why you're doing it, you got to know what you are doing. So what is youth group? Well, Merriam-Webster, the guy that pretty much wrote the dictionary, defines it as a group of youth or young persons forming a part of a unit or an organization for social, political, or religious institution. Kind of spot on. But really, our focus is not just to form a group, but to help students understand the truth of who God is, how He loves us so much, and what He has done for you in a fun church environment where each student can connect with staff, peers, and hopefully God in a meaningful way. So, what can it bring to you? What can it bring to your youth? It can bring community amongst the youth. That's something that's really big, especially in today's world in 2024. Isolation can be a big issue. So bringing community to someone can be life-changing. It can bring Bible study. We'll be studying a whole lot of the Bible. We'll get into our classes a little bit later of what we'll be talking about. Discipleship, discipling not just from me to them or from parents to them as well, but from peer discipleship, having good role models from those older students. And then, of course, a resource for the family. It takes a village to raise the kids, and we're honored as the church to be a part of that village, a part of that system, to help bring up these kids in a Christian and godly environment. Here are some of our monthly rhythms that we do. Number one is Cross Connect. Cross Connect, you might have heard these called as AAYGs before. It is the same concept during the school year. For the first Sunday of each month, we're traveling to the hosting church to participate in the youth events across kind of this local area, Brown County and the surrounding counties as well. It usually consists of an hour or so of organized games, a worship service followed by a meal. We will be hosting one of these come probably this fall. Again, this is only during the school year. Another thing that happens just during the school year is our Wednesday night meals. This is every Wednesday night, naturally before Bible classes. So this year, the youth will be responsible for the third Wednesday of each month, from preparing the food to serving the food, from leading to worship, and even the cleanup after the classes. The youth will be heavily involved with that. Also, on the third week of each month, we'll have our service Saturday. I know Saturdays are extremely busy, especially during the school year, and it can feel like your family's only day off for a bit. So on the third Saturday of each month, you can dish off your kids to me with the youth group, and we'll go and serve our local community. We have projects with the ARC, with Good Samaritan Ministries, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and with the Texas Ramp Project already lined up for that, and I'm pretty excited about this one. And then lastly, we try to have minimum one event every month. The summer months, naturally, we're going to have way more than that. But on average, we try to have one extra event outside of the ones that have already been listed per month. The Youth Connection Center. This is something that at the time of recording this video is still in the works. I pray that by the time school comes along, that this will be up and running flawlessly. Couple questions about it. Where is it? It's in the fish foyer next to the coffee tables closest to the playground doors. You can see in the picture, if you're familiar with the fish foyer, if you're familiar with the church, you know exactly where this is going to be. Now you know where it's at. What is it going to be? It's a space for the youth group and for parents to see what is happening and what is coming up in the youth group. There's a TV to display information, clipboards for signups for upcoming events, paper resources, and a minister's Dropbox if you need to give anything to me. And then what will be on it, upcoming events, information, pictures from previous events as well. There will be sign-up sheets, extra copies of handouts, summer calendars, a packing list for camps, and in the minister Dropbox, you can put checks in there, you can put suggestions in there, you can really put anything you would like. Flash drive for Senior Sunday, perhaps, in that one. How we're going to communicate. As the cliche suggests, communication is key. And in youth ministry, that is absolutely the case. Communication is a big deal. So here are the main ways that we will communicate with our youth and with our parents alike. The youth calendar on the church app. If you have the Austin Avenue Church app on the App Store, if not, I encourage you to download it. It'll be a big resource for me and for you, of course, in this endeavor. So go get that app, and we have a calendar on there. On that calendar, I put, of course, what the event is, what is needed to be brought by the kids, the dress code if we're going swimming or something, the address, what times, all the information that you might need is 99% of it is going to be on the church app. Also, our remind text. You can text that code AACCYG to the number 81010 on the phone. Make sure you put the @ in there. Sorry. And you will get notifications through text, so you don't need to download another app about whatever notifications I give out on the day of. That can be a reminder of, hey, remember this time tomorrow, we're going to go have a pool party at this person's house. I hope you're there. There is a character limit on that. So the messages are usually pretty short. So the bigger messages and the bigger events, that information is all going to be on the church app. And then lastly, like we just talked about, the Church Connection Center. Along with that, you can always just come and ask me, find me on a Sunday morning or on a Wednesday night, and I'm more than happy to help you. Classes. This is one of my favorite things. Sunday morning classes. It is very textual, very text heavy, and this is where you'll see some of those whole book studies. So we'll spend a good time reading the red letters in the Gospels over the course of the 7 years. Our youth group starts for incoming 6th graders all the way up to after you graduate. You get one more summer in the youth group. So in those 7 school years of the youth group, you will have read most of the Bible and definitely all of the Gospels just on Sunday mornings alone, which is pretty impressive. And Wednesday nights, that'll be more topical. You'll see themes from what the youth is seeing in the world today, and we'll have lots of application. Usually there's a game or a cool story to go along with it. So this will still be series-based, usually a lot of stories and tips for real-life application, and it can be based on some current events that we might be seeing in these kids' lives. Parents of the Month. How often do we need to sign up? Or a couple questions that I've received for it. The short answer is 2 months out of the year. I would love for each family to get a chance to at least volunteer for 1 month of the year. Well, what is expected from our Parents of the Month? The main purpose of being a Parent of the Month is to be an extra set of eyes for me and to be a role model for the kiddos that are in the group. Being present at our weekly classes and monthly events is all that I request. If you're a Parent of the Month in the summertime, that does not mean you're obligated to go to Camp Blue Haven or Lake Cisco with us or go down to Houston for our local mission trip. No, just being present in our classes and getting to know these kiddos a little bit of buy-in. And what if I can't make it to everything is a popular question. That is okay. I do not want this Parent of the Month to cause a reschedule of your family vacation, or if you get sick that you can't make it, for it to be a big deal, or in the way of any other event. We will have multiple couples, multiple families per month. And so do not worry about if you miss anything of that. You can always just let me know. How can you serve/support? The first one I put is partner in prayer. When I was making this list, it was actually the last one that I had, and I thought that needs to move up to the first one. So partnering with us in prayer, praying for your youth, as I'm sure you already do, and just praying that we lead them in a way that is pleasing to the Lord, that is in the right paths. Number 2, you can volunteer to lead or to cook or to host us for an event. Kids love going to different people's houses and seeing their place and petting your dogs, but really just devoting themselves to that and having a devotional where we sing and have a little lesson. They really eat that up. They love that. Number 3 is use your talents. Whatever your talents might be, maybe it's one of those things we mentioned, leading a group or cooking or hosting us, but whatever your talents might be, God has given those to us, and we are very grateful for them. And a great way to use them is to use them for the youth group. And then lastly, let me know your ideas. They're usually better than mine are. So definitely let me know those things. Camps and mission trips. The camps that we go to are Camp Blue Haven. That's usually the first week of June, first session of Camp Blue Haven. And then we usually have a week off. Scratch that. I'm so sorry. We go to Blue Haven, and then the second week, the week before Father's Day, we go to Lake Cisco Christian Camp, and that is both in the month of June. And then for mission trips, we have Impact Houston. We go there during Christmas and over our summer vacation to help with, in summertime, we help with the VBS there. We also have our local mission trip that at the time of recording this, we just finished doing, and we'll have our fun day coming up soon. That is a mission trip that is here in Brown County. And so we help out with ministries that are in Brown County or in surrounding counties. We help out with maybe our widow group or widower group, and we help out with other events that are going on in our community or around in our congregation. And then this is tentative right now, but we have a tentative Kayenta trip to Kayenta, Arizona on the Navajo Reservation, and that is going to be during spring break this year, so sometime in March. That will probably happen, but I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. So just keep that in your mind throughout this year. Other yearly events. Below I have a non-comprehensive list of other yearly events to keep in mind throughout the calendar year. To name a few, we have Leadership Training for Christ, LTC. If you're a longtime member at Austin Avenue, you probably remember the days of doing LTC. I grew up going to LTC, and I loved it so much. I think it'll be a great resource for our kids to grow in their leadership for Christ. We also have lock-ins. This past year, we had one at New Year's, and we had one during the summer. I think we'll have, while I'm still young and have a little bit of energy, we'll have some at New Year's, the beginning of summer, and the end of summer. I've heard from the kids that this is one of their favorite events that they have every single year, so why not have another? Christmas caroling, of course, during Christmas time, we'll go to some local rehabilitation centers or some nursing homes, and we'll sing some Christmas carols to them. Pool parties and lake days. I think we had 4 so far throughout this summer. Those are some yearly events that we'll have. Senior Sunday, of course, at the end of each calendar year, really a heartwarming event. And then community scavenger hunt, which will be happening here in a few weeks. The kids will gather up, and they'll split up into different groups, and they'll go around the community, and they'll look for some prompts that I gave them. It usually is a blast. And then lastly, our annual release forms. Where can I find them? I always have extra copies with me, so just stop by the office, and I can get you one. I can find you one. And then there will always be, hopefully, some extra copies at the Youth Connection Center. Going down to the bottom of the screen, why do I need one? A travel consent form is required by the state and national government in order for us and even for the school to take your kiddos anywhere where there's not a parent traveling with them. They have to have a travel consent form. In the event of any medical emergency, we are more than prepared and have the authority to pursue medical assistance. It's good to know maybe what your kids' allergies are, what kind of medications they're on, and that we are all in agreement on a singular behavioral policy with clear expectations. So what all is going to be on this list that you're signing up for? Our behavioral policy, pretty standard stuff. Emergency medical contact, the emergency medical and insurance information, the transportation release, a permission to publish any pictures that we might have of your kid, permission to baptize them if they're not already, and just some general information. And lastly, I wanted to say thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I pray that this video is a handy resource for you throughout the year. We will have our parent meeting in person on August the 4th this year. We do hope to see you there. I have a lot more to talk about, especially with our annual events, and you'll get the chance to learn a little bit about me, but hopefully I get the chance to learn a little bit more about you. Thank you for watching this video. I pray that it was helpful.